The Last Dream. Whispers in the dark. Candace lay in the meadow, eyes lost in the fading hues of twilight. She would often twirl in the firefly-lit air, laughing as dusk's cool touch brushed her skin, feeling like the world itself danced along with her. She recalled lying in the meadow, imagining the stars blinking awake in the velvety night, their glow a gentle lullaby. The breeze would carry the world's secrets, and peace was her constant companion. Now, the night's whispers no longer soothed her. They slithered into her thoughts like unwelcome guests. Each night the whispers grew bolder, swirling around her like unseen tendrils, rustling against her window pane despite the stillness of the outside world. One morning, after another sleepless night, exhaustion weighed heavily on her shoulders. Candace caught snippets of conversation among the townsfolk, their voices tinged with both curiosity and caution. "Marcella," they murmured, referring to the reclusive herbalist dwelling deep within White Pine's wood. "They say she has the power to silence the voices." A woman's eyes darted nervously. "But she is no ordinary healer. Some claim she converses with spirits, others whisper of her as a witch." Desperation tightened its grip on Candace as she clung to the promise of relief. With trembling hands, she approached the woman, her voice barely above a whisper. "Do you think she can help me?" The woman shifted and pursed her lips as she glanced around, a sigh escaping her. "If anyone can, it's Marcella, but be warned, she will scare you just as much as she might heal you." Marcella existed as more of a legend than a woman, her gnarled hands and ancient eyes steeped in the wisdom of centuries. Her home was nestled in among whispering herbs and ancient remedies. Cloaked in the perpetual haze of wood smoke and ancient lore, the villagers spoke of her in hushed, reverent tones, their stories, a blend of awe and fear. They recounted her uncanny ability to heal the sick and calm troubled minds, a paradox of help and fear intertwined. Determined to find relief, Candace set out that evening for White Pine's wood. Twilight draped the world in deep hues as she approached the forest, her heart pounding with a mix of hope and dread. The ancient trees loomed like twisted sentinels under the darkening sky. As she ventured into the woods, the air grew heavy with the earthy aroma of damp soil and decaying leaves. Shadows stretched and danced while the whispers that haunted her dreams began to swirl around her, a chilling chorus of disembodied voices that sent shivers down her spine. Every snap of a twig, every rustle in the undergrowth sent her heart racing faster. Candace whirled around, her heart leaping into her throat. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice trembling. The silence that followed was oppressive, only to be broken by a haunting whisper that seemed to emerge from every shadow. "Candace, come deeper. We are waiting." She tightened her grip on the lantern, whispering to herself, "Stay calm, just keep moving." With each step deeper into the forest, Candace's breath became ragged, her steps hesitant. Cold, sharp fear gripped her insides like icy talons. The whispers, once a distant murmur, now surrounded her in a swirling cacophony. They spoke of forgotten rituals, ancient pacts, and a darkness longing for release. Among sinister murmurs was Marcella's name, painted as a gatekeeper and guardian of secrets best left undisturbed. "Marcella knows the truth," they hissed, "but she will demand a price. Are you willing to pay?" The path to Marcella's dwelling was twisted into the dark like a forgotten trail. Candace held the flickering lantern close, its warmth barely cutting through the cold bite of the night. She advanced with a heart pounding in trepidation. "I have no other choice," she whispered, as though trying to persuade herself. Each step forward seemed to amplify the whispers, their voices growing more insistent and intertwined. They wrapped around her like ghostly tendrils, sending icy shivers down her spine. At last, a faint silhouette of Marcella's cottage emerged through the thick veil of trees. The smoke curling from its chimney was a hope of warmth in the darkness. Candace approached cautiously, her heart a relentless drumbeat in her chest. "Please let her be kind," she prayed silently. As she reached the porch, the whispers reached a deafening crescendo. "Turn back!" they screamed. "She is not what she seems." With her hand raised to the door, poised to knock, doubt clawed at her with thoughts. What if the whispers had been right? What if Marcella's help demanded a price too steep? The door creaked open before Candace could knock. There stood Marcella, her weathered face etched with the lines of countless years. Her eyes, sharp and knowing, seemed to pierce through Candace's very soul. "I've been expecting you, child," Marcella said, her voice like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "You carry the weight of many voices." Candace swallowed hard. "Can you help me?" "The whispers, they won't stop." Marcella studied her for a long moment before nodding slowly. "I can, but you must be willing to face them. Not every voice is an enemy, Candace. Some seek to guide you." Terror gripped Candace, the memory of the whispers' warnings ringing in her ears. "What do you mean? Are you saying I should listen to them?" Marcella's gaze softened. "Yes, but with discernment. The voices you hear are from the past. Some are lost, others seek to protect you. They are your ancestors, child." Overwhelmed by fear and the noise of whispers, Candace backed away, shaking her head. No, I can't. I don't want to hear them anymore." Without another word, she turned and fled back into the woods, the voices chasing her through the darkness. The voices began echoing louder. "Run away, Candace, run!" She dropped the lantern, its light snuffed out as it hit the ground. She went as fast as her legs could carry her deep into the forest, mindless of the gnarled roots and low-hanging branches that clawed at her. She tripped and fell hard, catching her breath in her throat as she landed against the base of an ancient tree. As she sat up, she leaned against the tree, sobbing, only to feel gnarly branches surrounding her. She felt like she was being consumed with no ability to get away. She opened her mouth to scream, but the sound died in her throat as the tree's twisted branches closed in around her. Then the whispers became as clear as crystal. "You should have stayed. You were so close." The darkness closed in, suffocating her, wrapping tighter and tighter until there was nothing but silence. As the first light of the morning filtered through the trees, Marcella went out in search of Candace. The sun's rays, a protective embrace, guided her through the forest. It did not take long for her to find Candace lying at the base of an ancient tree. Marcella approached with a heavy heart. She observed how the tree's branches cradled Candace as if to comfort her. The old woman realized that in her fear, Candace had unknowingly sought refuge with an ancient guardian of the forest. Marcella knelt beside Candace, her weathered hand gently brushing the girl's cheek. "Oh, child," she whispered, her voice heavy with sorrow, "if only you had stayed to listen and faced your fears. The voices you feared were your ancestors trying to guide you. Not every voice you hear is always bad. Some voices try to protect you if you listen." She placed a hand on the tree's bark, feeling the pulse of life within. The ancient forest guardian had offered Candace a final refuge, but fear had already claimed her. Marcella understood that while Candace's physical form remained, her spirit had become one with the forest, a bittersweet fate born of misunderstanding and fear. But that's a story for another time. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, leave a kind comment and subscribe for more. Smash that notification bell so you don't miss the next story from Creepy Chronicles HQ. See you in your dreams.